12 best books any realtor should read. Stay tuned.
Yes, so super exciting. There are certain books, so many great books that you can be reading to help you, but there are some books that when you read them, they help you put your real estate sales on steroids. So while there's a lot of technical books about, writing contracts and listing agreements and presentations and all that, we're going to talk about books that help inspire you, motivate you, help you change habits and do things that make a huge difference in your real estate business. And the first one is, this book was written a long time ago by a guy named David Schwartz. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big. This book is a classic. Just the title alone is inspiring because we all like things that empower us. So The Magic of Thinking Big is about attitude, and you get what you expect, right? So when you read through this book, it's going to really get you on track with success principles and the secrets of success. So I highly recommend you read this book. I have honestly read this book 7 times, and some of these books are so good, I even give them away to friends. But yeah, Magic of Thinking Big is number 1 for sure.
Yeah, definitely a good one. One on my list was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, written in 1937. Just another classic book that, it just goes through so much. So I don't want to mess up my list. He talks about reaching your goals and having faith and positive affirmations, gaining knowledge in your industry, having some imagination, having a plan, being persistent. All great things in whatever you're going to do for your life. So Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, just another great one.
Absolutely. Wow. That is a classic too. Just an outstanding book. In fact, you'll find if you research and talk with highly successful realtors everywhere, they have all read that book. And then there's another one that's a bit of a classic that's been around a long time called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book is timeless, but it talks about how other people react to you, how to win friends and influence people. If you think of the title of that, and you can be in control of how people react to the way you're handling situations and things that you want to have a positive outcome from. So phenomenal book, another easy read with a lot of great examples, definitely high on my personal list. And I highly recommend everybody read that book as well.
That's a good one.
Yes.
So you might be surprised by this one I put on my list, and it is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. So you might think that's not a realtor's book or even a business book, but to understand the 5 languages, to understand people, personalities, experiences, backgrounds, and that people think differently and react differently and want different things, then that will help you in every aspect of your life. So I definitely recommend this one, The 5 Love Languages.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people think of love languages in terms of, their personal relationship with their counterpart, but understanding your coworkers, understanding your colleagues' love languages and how they receive communication. Oh, it's such an amazing book. One of the best books I've ever read. In fact, I have a friend of mine that she's a consultant to dental practices. And when they hire her, she's very expensive. Number one thing she requires is that the owners of the dental practices, the dentists, that they read that book. It's a number one requirement. They want the owners of those companies to have their personal relationships with their spouses and their children to be in order to help them to be successful. So yeah, that's a great one. And then Raving Fans. This is kind of a little bit newer book on the scene over the last number of years. But Raving Fans is a story format. It's a really light read, not a lot of pages. And this is really about learning what customers want and meeting their needs at such a high level that they become a raving fan of yours and your business, causing them to want to refer everyone that they're related to, all their friends, family, everybody they know, that they would be referral partners of yours because of how amazing you are. So just another outstanding book, really fun read because of the story format of it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. One of my choices is called The Happiness Trap. A friend of mine turned me onto this book a while back, like 2 months ago. And this is a fascinating idea. And the idea is that you can't possibly be happy all the time. It's just not possible. Those negative thoughts are going to come in. And the idea of this book is how to deal with that and how to handle those negative thoughts, because they come and they come back and they come back. And once you can handle negative thoughts, now let's set some goals. What does your heart want? And what do you really want? And this is a fascinating book on happiness, what it is and what it isn't. And sometimes people come into the realty business because they think, oh, I'm going to make all kinds of money and I'm going to be happy. Well, that's not what's going to make you happy. And this book will tell you all about it.
Oh,
So
that's
get your hands on
awesome.
that one. That one's by Russ Harris.
Yeah,
Great.
great book. Yes. Another great one, it's a story format in the similar style of Raving Fans, is Mr. Shmooze. So you can imagine with a title like that. Richard Abraham wrote that book. Another really small book. It's a quick read, light story format, like I mentioned. But Mr. Shmooze is really all about a man who reveals the secret shared by all superstar salespeople, in that it's not about taking, it's not about persuading, but believe it or not, it's about giving. It's about coming from a place of contribution and giving into all your relationships, business, personal, professional, everything. Always coming from contribution and being a benefit in the lives of other people makes those connections, become referral partners, and helps to enhance your business. Really fun read, and you learn a lot from stories, and so it's a great story. You'll enjoy it.
That's awesome. Speaking of stories, my other choice was The Go-Getter by Peter Kyne,
Oh, yeah.
Kyne. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but this is also a story format about a man who was a go-getter who didn't quit. And I'm super summarizing right now, but that's kind of the gist of the book. And it's just a fascinating way to read how this person did not let anything stand in his way. He just went to go get it. And after you read this book, if you're not motivated, I don't know what's going to motivate you to do it. I mean, I just don't. And he just spells it out in a way that you're like, I can do it too. And yeah, great story format also.
Yeah, that is a great book. And, when I think about that book, it's really hard to not want to give it away, but there's some just really fun, iconic things in that book. What a great book. I love that book. The next one is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Wow, this is a book about things that you can do, and it's about taking 100% responsibility for everything in your life, and it's how you can reap huge rewards from small, seemingly insignificant actions, right? So, like, as an example, you want to lose weight. How could you lose weight? By making a small change. And it's little things like maybe you give up drinking Pepsi or Coke or soda or something like that. Or maybe a part of your routine, you're going to make a really small shift in it. But because you're doing that every single day, the long-term effects are maybe you're losing weight or you're becoming stronger or healthier or any number of different things. Phenomenal book. Darren Hardy is an amazing author. He's also a coach, mentor, great businessman, and you'll enjoy that book. It will help you a lot with making small changes that have a huge impact on anything that you're trying to have an impact on in your life. So, good book.
Awesome. That sounds like a good one.
Oh,
I
yeah,
actually haven't
really
read
good.
that one yet, but that does sound like a good one.
Yeah, really good.
My next choice is something I'm actually holding. Actually, I was holding The Happiness Trap, and I'm also holding the Four Tendencies. There we go. The
Awesome. I
Four
love
Tendencies.
it.
So the Four Tendencies are the upholder, the questioner, the obliger. I can never say that word well. Obliger and the rebel.
It's a tongue twister.
So, so Two of my kids are rebels, I'll tell you that right now. But hey, so this one is another sort of personality kind of book, something that talks to you about personalities and people and these four different categories that Gretchen Rubin comes up with, and how people generally fall into one category and then sort of another category, and the strengths and weaknesses of each. And once you recognize yourself, how your self-awareness definitely increases, but also the way you interact with people in your own home, in your extended family, and with who you work with, your clients. And then you start to have a deeper understanding of how people fall into these categories and how different they are, and how you can kind of help things move along when you see these things. So definitely an interesting read as far as personalities and people. And if you're a realtor, you're in the people business. So
Absolutely.
great thing to pick up on.
Absolutely. And understanding the different personality styles and profiles of people, it's a fascinating subject.
Mhm.
So the last one that I have on my mind here, which is a top one, is a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. So this book
Ooh,
a little bit dovetails in with the compound effect, but James Clear goes into the details of how to break bad habits, things that are not helping you to move towards your dreams and goals, right? Your accomplishments. But he shows you how you can make small, incremental, everyday routines compound into massive positive change over time. It's a phenomenal book. It was another one that just rocked me when I read it. It's a book I read about a year ago, and I just absolutely love it. There's a whole community that's been built around atomic habits. Google search atomic habits and see what comes up. It will blow your mind, but it's another life-changing book. So very
that
good.
sounds like a good one. I haven't read that one yet, and I've heard it mentioned, I don't know how many times, and I keep saying I'm going to get that book, and then I haven't.
Yeah.
I've gotten other books, but sounds like a good one, and I got to do it. My last one for today is what to say when you talk to yourself.
Oh gosh,
What
that's
to
one
say
of my
when you talk
favorites.
to yourself. So, um, if you are anything like me, you have spent many, many years being your own worst enemy and saying stuff to yourself that you would never repeat to anybody else. But here we are saying all kinds of things like, oh my gosh, you're stupid. That those pants make your butt look big. Like all these things you would never repeat. But here you are telling yourself all these things. And if you do that even a little bit, you got to pick up this book and grab it and just read it and read it again. And Shad Helmstetler, you got to see that slow.
Yeah.
He has actually written other books that spills into parenting and how you talk to your kids, and that outward voice that you talk to your kids with becomes their inner voice.
Oh
Guess
goodness, it
how
sure
you got
does.
your inner voice? Yeah, you picked it up somewhere. I'm not going to even say go into that, but fascinating book about how you talk to yourself. And he has other books on how to talk to yourself and your thoughts and training your thoughts, and so definitely a winner in that circle. And so
Oh yeah, your inner scripting. What do you say to yourself? So
yeah.
important. You know the most amazing thing about that book? It's one of my favorite topics, but the great thing about it is you're 100% in control of what you say to yourself if you're willing to stop your mind and the scripting that you already have, maybe from when you were a child, even growing up, but you can
Yeah.
stop it, take control of it, and change it. And you can say and build scripts for yourself that are, just going to build you up and help build your confidence and, your just success habits and everything. I mean, yeah, that's just a great book. And I think that's our top 12. And these books are so important. I mean, you've heard the saying, maybe readers are leaders and leaders are readers. Highly successful people in real estate read a lot because we get paid in real estate directly in proportion to our ability to successfully deal with people, right? And to create successful patterns and habits in our life. So I love that about the value of reading. And there's another thing that you'll hear, the person you become is based on the books you read, the things you listen to, and the people you hang out with. Because you can read the minds of other people and things they've learned, and you can learn from them. So books become an influence in your life. It's super powerful. Even if you're not a big reader, you want to learn from some of these other successful people because they've learned things that you haven't learned, and you can benefit by them and their life experience and not have to go through the school of hard knocks, so to speak. And you can just bypass the hard knocks and learn from what they've learned. And so I love the idea of reading 10 pages a day. In fact,
At
I used
least.
to have that's right, at least 10. But here's the thing, if you're building your reading habit, start with 10 pages. Now, me, when I started my reading habit years ago after I got out of college, I was so fed up with reading, I never thought I'd ever read again. But I wasn't reading things that I was choosing that I wanted to read that would help me be better, stronger, and do better in my career in real estate. And so reading 10 pages a day will help you do that. Maybe don't read right before you go to bed at night, because I found that it's a great thing to end your day with, certainly, because you put a lot of good stuff in your mind and then you sleep on it. But whatever works for you. I had a friend of mine, he was in construction and he wasn't a big reader. So what he would do is he would have a book that he wanted to read, and he would tear the 10 pages out of the book, and then he would put it in his lunchbox. And then he went to the construction job site, and when he would eat his lunch, he would pull the 10 pages out and he would read the 10 pages, and then he would throw them away. And that was how he read his books, because he felt like, I could read 10 pages, but he did it on his lunch break.
Oh,
But
my goodness.
yeah, but you can learn from mega multimillionaires, people that are highly successful in creating income and wealth and managing money and your own personal health and physical fitness. There's so many different things, but you can learn great things. So reading is powerful. Take advantage of it. It's free. And I once heard somebody say this: if you know how to read and you're not reading, you're no better off than a person who doesn't know how to read.
Oh,
So read,
boy. Oh, boy.
read a little bit every single day and build that habit. And if you're ever reading anything that seems to be stifling you, making you not want to read that book, I highly recommend that you just set it aside for another day. Pick up something different, which is why I like books like Mr. Shmooze and Raving Fans. These story formats, they're a little bit fun and easy to read, and you'll enjoy them. But with that, we should wrap up. And excited that you're a part of Realtors Toolbox. We hope these tools help you to be better and grow your real estate business and earn lots of commissions and make money and live the life of your dreams. So with that, we'll sign off for today. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you on the next video at the next opportunity. Bye for now.
See you next time. Bye.